Well, hi, folks. Lori Daybell has been found guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder in Arizona, buried under that scorching microscope of a Maricopa courtroom. But here's the kicker. She wants out fast, trading her cactus bed gel environment for the hopes of a baked potato comfort in Idaho's prison system. So let's look at things unfolding in this Arizona courtroom and explore Daybell's almost comical urgency to push for sentencing. From the psychological reasons she's itching to reclaim her prison persona in Idaho and her stipulation of aggravating factors. Tune in for a blend of courtroom drama, criminal psychology, and just a pinch of humor, like an Arizona prickly pear, because Lori Daybell is begging for an Idaho cheesy potato environment. Well, hey folks, welcome back to Profiling Evil, where we try to dissect the criminal mind with some precision. And today, we're going to be adding a little bit of humor, because I think we all need a little bit of a release. And thank goodness this thing didn't go on very long. Now, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and share Profiling Evil with other true crime aficionados. And please, catch more exclusive content at profilingevil.com, where you can sign up for our digital newsletter, The Bolo. It's a deep dive into some pretty cool things, but the only way you can get them is by signing up online. And I promise I'll never share your information. Now today, we've got kind of a wild contrast. Lori Daybell was just sentenced under a desert microscope in sizzling Arizona. Now that versus her upcoming return to what I think she thinks is a cozy life of an Idaho prison. So kind of think baked potato warmth compared to cactus prickles. Because that's right, we're diving into her conviction for yet another murder charge. And I want to just explore some of the things that happened. Maricopa County, the jury returned a swift and unanimous guilty verdict. Lori Daybell found guilty of conspiring to commit first-degree murder in the attempted killing of Brandon Bedreau. Her co-conspirator, at least Alex Cox, if not a couple of others. Now, this is one of the fastest guilty verdicts that I've seen in a while. And the moment the guilty verdict was read, you could almost feel the heat on her as the foreperson said, "We, the jury, find the defendant guilty." Well, every juror echoed a firm yes when the judge polled them. There was no doubt, there was no dissent. That unified verdict was a momentary victory for accountability in this case. But what happens next was kind of a theater of logistics, not sorrow, in my opinion. In real time, court audio, Lori immediately pivoted to logistics, waiving jury involvement for that aggravation phase that's coming up. She stipulated, as much as you could tell she didn't want to, she stipulated that the crime was dangerous and that it involved an accomplice. She even asked the judge to waive the pre-sentence report, but he denied it. And you know what? I think he really wants her criminal history read into the record when he does the next phase of this process. And when the judge offered sentencing dates, she insisted that she wanted it to happen within 30 days. The result? Instead of looking into August, the judge set it for July 25th. That was as quick as she could legally get it in. Well, as I watched, I found it almost humorous that Lori was sitting in that cactus bed full of prickly needles when all of a sudden she wanted out, like a caged animal, and she wanted to head back to her prison cell in Idaho. But this time, she's going back as a four-time baked potato. So let's compare the two worlds that she's been convicted in, because she has multiple murders in Arizona, 2. She has 3 murders in Idaho, 5 murders. The Arizona jail was truly like an unforgiving desert. It was probably hot, chaotic, overcrowded. Lori didn't have identity nor structure. She was simply surviving day to day, and that had to have been really uncomfortable for her. She was probably in a loud environment, surrounded by emotionless cellmates. The random lockdowns, the shakedowns, the court appearances, they all were probably draining. And now she wants to run away because she's been called on the carpet for a second murder charge. So, for someone who calls herself Doomsday Mom, heading back to Idaho may be a way to get back to her new definition of who she is. She's under a microscope and she doesn't have any control over anything, not even her own day. But in Idaho, I think she's probably fantasized about this baked potato life that she has, one of structure and calm. I think she knows that the difference between jail and prison is there are more programs in prison. She'll have libraries, programming, a commissary, and probably some predictable routines, perhaps even a little bit of control where she can once again craft her image. She'll have more access to spiritual and social outlets, and she'll probably have more access to inmates. She'll no longer be in the bristling spotlight of the Arizona sun. But Daybell knows what the process is to get back to Idaho. Because when the prosecution didn't immediately respond to the judge's question about how she returns and when she returns, Lori stepped up and educated the judge, telling him that they have 30 days to come and get her. And that's why she wants the sentencing moved up. This thing wasn't about speed, though. It was another way for her to symbolically get control, a move to reclaim her narrative in some form or fashion. Now, Lori's courtroom demeanor once again showed a preference for control over emotion. She wasn't shook up that she was found guilty. She wanted to assert control. By waiving jury involvement and speeding up the sentencing, she minimizes the chaos in her environment. And in her mind, she's reminding the court that she's in charge. Because for Lori Daybell, Arizona's been an acid bath, and she's hoping to easily slide back in to that Idaho system that she was getting comfortable with. So let's watch the jury's findings as they read those off. But before we do, I want to invite you to pick up my book, Deceived, an investigative memoir of the Zion Society cult. And a number of you have already done so, because I really think it's important with these crimes that Lori Daybell's been committing. Deceived is a true story of a disturbing investigation that I led into a violent, manipulative cult that hid behind religious ideology, much like the Daybells, all to exploit and abuse its followers. Now, I bring this up because the patterns that I saw in the Zion Society are eerily consistent with what we've seen in the Lori Daybell cases. So whether it's the Zion Society, the FLDS, or Lori and Chad Daybell's twisted doomsday movement, cult behavior follows a playbook of charismatic leaders who claim divine authority. They involve isolation of members from family, friends, and outside influences, support networks. They have these apocalyptic or salvation-based beliefs that create urgency and obedience. And they somehow are magnificent at rewriting moral code, convincing seemingly intelligent people that crime's not only justified, but it's divinely required. And tragically, their ability to lure in people who are educated, capable, and seemingly rational is absolutely frightening, because those are people who are vulnerable to emotional and spiritual manipulation at that perfect moment in time. In Deceived, I walk through how intelligent adults, even entire families, get swept into believing unbelievable things, eventually being complicit in criminal behavior. And just like those in Lori's world, these weren't textbook villains. These were broken people weaponized by a narcissist in positions of trust and influence. So, if you're interested in digging in deeper about how people fall for these destructive ideologies, Deceived is a must read. And you can get a signed copy anywhere in the United States, shipped for free at profilingevil.com. But if you're anywhere else in the world, just go to Amazon and pick up my books. Now let's watch the video from today.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes.
Will you hand the verdict to my courtroom assistant? All right, the clerk will read and record the verdict.
In the Superior Court of the State of Arizona, in and for the County of Maricopa, State of Arizona versus Vallow Daybell, CR 2022-00-1242-001. Verdict count 1. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn in the above entitled action upon our oaths, do find the defendant, Vallow Daybell, as to the crime of count 1, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder occurring on or about October 2nd, 2019, as follows. Guilty. Signed, foreperson. Are these your true verdicts, so say you one and all?
Yes.
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 All right, on the court's own motion, I'll ask the clerk to poll the jury.
Juror number 1, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 2, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 4, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 5, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 6, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 8, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 9, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 11, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 12, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 13, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 14, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 15, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
All right, members of the jury, I'm going to excuse you at this time. I have one more legal issue I need to resolve before you can be released from the admonition. So please just hang tight in the jury room for what's hopefully a few minutes, and then we will let you know if we need your further service. So please retire to the jury room, and please, the admonition still applies.
All rise to the jury.
All right, please be seated. The jury is no longer present. And aggravation phase, we're prepared to proceed with. I'll ask the defendant. Yesterday, you indicated you didn't want to proceed with that and you would rather admit those aggravators. Is that still your desire?
I will still stipulate, Your Honor, even though I object to having an aggravator phase at all.
Okay, so the state has alleged this is a dangerous offense. Do you understand? And the state has also alleged that this particular crime that you've been found guilty of involved the use or of an accomplice. Is that the extent of the aggravators that you want to prove up?
To the jury, yes, that's all we were going to ask to do.
All right. So, Ms. Daybell, do you understand you have the right to have a jury decide whether or not those aggravators are proven beyond a reasonable doubt?
I do understand that.
And do you understand that by admitting those aggravators or stipulating to them that you'd be waiving your right to have a jury do that?
Correct.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you in any way to get you to waive that right to have a jury decide those two issues?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything to get you to waive that right to have a jury decide those two factors?
No.
Are you waiving those factors of your own free will?
Yes.
The court finds and do you in fact stipulate that this was a dangerous offense?
I do stipulate to that fact.
And you also stipulate that this particular crime would have involved or did involve the use of a presence or use of an accomplice?
I will stipulate to that fact as well.
The court finds those to be knowingly, voluntarily, intelligently entered into stipulation. The court will find that those do exist as a legal determination. I'll order a pre-sentence report be prepared on both cases.
Can I waive a pre-sentence report and try to move up sentencing?
No, we're going to have one prepared. Let me ask the state, as far as the state's presentation and how many people might speak at sentencing, do you have an estimated time?
Your Honor, 1 second. Your Honor, because we are sentencing both cases together at the same time to be safe, if we could block off a couple hours, because there are obviously next of kin and victims from both cases. It
All
may
right.
be less than that, but I think to be safe, if we could do that.
All right, this courtroom is going to be taken over by Judge Myers in a week and a half, but he is out the whole week of July 28. So this courtroom would be vacant. We could use this courtroom.
Long time.
So I can do it pretty much any day that
One-
week.
Second, I think that,
Does it have to be within 30 days? Your Honor, is that more than 30 days? Doesn't it have to be within 30 days?
It is more than 30 days.
Your Honor, the 25th of July would also work.
All right, does the defendant want to be heard on a sentencing date?
Do I want to be heard?
On a sentencing date, yeah.
Do I want to speak on sentencing day?
No,
Is that what
I
you're
meant,
asking me?
Do you want to be heard on what
The
date?
timing?
Yeah, what date I should set this for?
Yes, I would like it to be within 30 days, if possible.
All right. The soonest available is July 25th. I'll set it from 9 a.m. to noon, just to be safe, on July 25th in this same courtroom. Anything else?
Can you do anything about the timing of me being transported after that?
Actually, I would like the county attorney and/or the sheriff's office. I don't know if I need to make specific orders on the record regarding transferring back to Idaho. I don't know what the interstate agreement was on having her transported here.
It was immediately after, but I think they have up to 30 days to pick me up. That's why I wanted the sentencing to be moved up, because they still have 30 days after that.
Okay.
If there's
so
something you can do about that.
I guess what I'm requesting from any party, either side or the sheriff's office, is what particular language people are looking for in order to accomplish that transfer.
I will reach out to our extraditions.
All right. All right, so we will be at recess. All right, thank you.
Well, thanks for watching Profiling Evil. Please let me know in the comments section below whether you think Lori's move was desperation or just part of her new strategy. Now be respectful and remember that we're all here to learn about the criminal mind together. And if you like Profiling Evil, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And if you like audio podcasts, check out Profiling Evil's audio podcasts on your favorite podcast platform. And again, pick up my books, visit the website, and most of all, know how much I appreciate your support of Profiling Evil. We'll see you all soon at the next crime scene.